All right, gentlemen. In Demons 1, evil is unleashed in a movie theater. In Demons 2, the attack is carried out via television. And in early stages of Demons 3 development, before it totally shifted gears, they were thinking about doing evil coming from the book, or the demons being summoned via book. Mm-hmm. What do you think that movie would look like? I
think it would look like Evil Dead, where they read a book and demons came out of the ground.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty blueprint, isn't it?
Yeah, they weren't. Oh, did Demons 3 happen?
Yes, it's called Demons 3, The Ogre. So it completely, like I said, shifted gears.
Oh. So it's like one demon? The ogre?
I haven't seen it, to be fair.
I hope he's like the Demon King.
That's Jared, the Goblin King you're thinking of.
Oh, you're right. Let's dance.
Dance, magic, dance, magic. I got to quit singing this podcast. No one shows up for this shit.
Who's not showing up?
Yeah, it's all they show up for. Like, more Garrett singing, please.
We should cut a GraveTalk album. It's just 30-second songs of me just like belting out like clips of shitty music.
So after Demons 2, they started working on Demons 3, but then it ended up turning into a different movie called The Church.
Okay.
So it had nothing to do with demons. And then Lamberto
just like Demons
Bava,
2 had nothing to do with demons. Got it.
Lamberto Bava finally made the Demons 3, The Ogre, as a television movie for a 4-movie contract that he signed on for.
Wow.
Which is why he didn't do The Church.
Can I just ask this question? The Demons franchise is just a way to like launder money, right? For drugs?
No, this
was not a legitimate movie idea that was executed properly.
Let me read you the inside sleeve of Demons 2 VHS.
Oh shit, inside sleeve is hitting us with the deep cuts.
The insert, if you will.
Lamberto Bava's sequel to the extremely successful Demons in 1985, see, there you go, that's why the sequel happened, is a lucid dissertation over the effects of teledependency. The sociological implications of Bava's demons spreading their hellish contagion through a TV screen opens the door to many a philosophical reflection.
Holy shit.
But for the director, it is a matter over mind, with the horror prevailing. Because this is a very simple genre with very simple rules, concedes Bava. But intellectualizing it, you must put the message at risk. And that is from a gentleman called Loris Kersey.
That guy can go fuck himself 3 times sideways. That was the biggest load of shit.
I think you guys just went over your head. You didn't catch all that messaging.
Loris, my man, where do you get your LSD from? Because that was some acid talk right there. A lucid dissertation.
You know that you know those things in life where like you like something and there's everyone else is like, why? But you justify, you see things that other people don't see just because you got to convince yourself that you like or are into something. That's what happened right there.
Yeah.
Or maybe, this is an Italian film all the way from Italy. That's where Italians come from. I don't know if you know that.
What?
Yeah, do you know?
Oh, there's a whole country of them?
It's true.
I thought Little Italy was, just because I don't know. I was like, wonder if there's a Big Italy. Never Googled it, though. Just ran with it.
Yeah. Big Little Italy. Little Italy is what I just said.
Yeah, Big Little Italy. That's it. That's Dario Argento's next film.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I was going to say, perhaps something's lost in the ADR translation into American.
Unlikely.
Nope.
You don't think so?
Nope. He basically perched this thing on the shoulders of like teledependency. Let me tell you the 2 moments in the movie that the teledependency was ever actually notated, the very beginning and the very end. And you know what both of them did not do? Indicate that we have a dependency on television or any kind of screen.
Half of them were in a gym and half of them were at a party. The opposite of watching television.
Some were prostitutes stuck in an elevator.
Who are you to question Mr. Kersey, famed producer of such films as SOS Survivor Sacrifice?
I love Survivor Sacrifice.
I have an answer for that, Mark. I'm Garrett motherfucking GraveTalk. That's who I am. I'm here to break this man down and make him answer for the crimes of literary something or other. I can't think of something clever to say because obviously I'm no better at talking than he is.
Oh, he's much better than talking to you than you are.
Here's what I'll tell you.
He knows words like teledependency.
Yeah, well, look.
I said that already.
I know, but he said it first.
A lucid dissertation of this fucking film. Watch 1, but then pretend it was 80% as good, and you've got Demons 2.
Oh, well, let's get into it. I don't think it's that much worse.
You don't think it's 20% worse? Is it? Well, maybe because...
you're saying it's 80%...
as good as Demons 1.
Okay.
Is this an Italian conversion thing? Is this a metric system type thing?
Yeah.
Hey, all you creatures from cyberspace. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the GraveTalk podcast. My name is Mark. Again, joined with Garrett and John. Fellas, we're back for another one. Mm-hmm. How we doing?
Good.
Good.
Move on.
Next.
So to Garrett, I'm finished here. I'm doing pretty good. I watched a couple horror movies. So.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Is couple 2 or 3?
Well, with the Italian conversion, I'm not sure how many it is anymore, but
The
I
correct
did
answer
watch.
is 2. A couple is 2, a few is 3.
I watched 2 horror movies.
More is 4. Okay. Table for 2.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll go first. I watched 12-Hour Shift. I was on Hulu.
I don't want to work 12 hours.
No.
Did this guy in the movie?
Well, it's
Or-
about a nurse who's a girl.
Okay, lady then?
Yeah, she did. And I don't know if it's really a horror film, but it's about organs being stolen. It's like a horror comedy. It was bad. That was a solid 2.5 stars.
It's nothing funnier than losing organs.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It did have Mick Foley in it, though. Mankind.
Wow.
For our wrestling
I
fans.
haven't seen him since
Yeah.
the wrestling days.
Yeah, well, he's doing bad movies now. And then I watched Possessor.
Ooh.
I've seen that
2020.
pop up occasionally. I think it was on Hulu, right?
Yeah, that's where I watched
Yeah,
it.
I haven't watched it yet, but I saw that pop up. A couple
It was fine.
times.
Possessor is about assassins who take over someone you know's body to kill you.
Oh wait, that's the one that came out not too long ago.
Yeah, by Cronenberg.
Yeah, Cronenberg's kid.
Brandon Cronenberg.
Yeah.
It was all right. I liked it a little bit more than if you could do 2 3/4 on Letterboxd, I would have given it 2 3/4. I also watched Commando and John Wick. Both of those got 5 stars.
Accurate.
Yeah.
The
Good job.
Schwarzenegger classic Commando.
Well, Garrett, what'd you watch?
I watched a movie on Shudder called Sorority Babes in the Slime Bowl Bolorama.
Oh, yes. Lingerie in a bowling alley and a bunch of demons that show up.
Have you seen this?
Sure I have.
I said it's 5 stars, right?
Trash. Pure trash.
Yes, it
All
is.
right. It started out where I was like, okay, I'm in. We're good to go here. And then it quickly became like my first film project when the nerds show up. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm still down. It's the 80s. I'll give it a pass. And then we get some sorority shenanigans. And I'm like, okay, here we go. We get some spanking action. And I'm like, all right, I'm in for this movie. And then, boom, full on 80s shower scene. So I'm in. Then the movie goes to the Bolorama, which is inside a mall for no reason whatsoever other than they had access to a mall.
Well, everything was in the mall in the
Yeah.
80s.
And this movie goes off the rails. And oh my God, I kind of love how just ridiculous some of it was. But then the Demon King shows up or whatever he is. And he talks like Screaming Jay Hawkins in a minstrel show. I could not believe this is the voice they went with their he was like, well, let's get on going over here. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? It was ridiculous. I kind of like this movie.
Did you just randomly choose it?
My roommate picked it.
Okay.
And I was like, wait a minute. It's got everything I like in the title: bowling, sorority babes, slime. And
What's not to like?
it seemed like it was going to be a banger.
Well, you picked a movie that was produced by Charles Band, who is the Full Moon Features fellow who did all the Puppet Master movies.
Yes.
So that is the lane you're getting in with that bowling.
Oh, I like that little
shit.
play on words. How come you're not writing inserts for DVDs from the 80s?
Because no one's asked me yet. I'm ready. I have words. I watched one on Shudder called The Spine of Night. And I'm not going to go too deep into it, but it is an animated film in the same vein of Heavy Metal and Wizards from the 70s. If you've seen those before, you kind of know what you're getting into. It's kind of like that. It looks like a rotoscopic, like animated over live actors style film. Really
Real Charles
fantastical
Bashki style.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Patton Oswalt does the voice of the main villain. It's a really good flick, actually. If
He's
you're
not
into
even
that.
the main villain, but he is a villain for sure. But there's a lot of people in that movie, a lot of voices you're going to recognize. But it's on Shudder right now. I gave it 4 stars. I think it's worth your time. Go check it out. It's fun to see animated stuff again. I was like, oh yeah, these used to come out more regularly.
Yeah.
You
than
know
they do
they're
now.
still making a bunch of animated movies, right?
They haven't stopped.
No, they did. I'm pretty sure they did. They don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
They're all computer generated now.
That's true.
They don't hand draw shit anymore.
I'm going to tell you what, I bet if we looked into it, this movie, computer generated.
No, don't break the facade.
Actually, I watched a fair bit of it. A lot of it is still traditional art style. They did use some computers for some stuff, but a lot of it still is traditional style.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what I meant. They don't make these kind of movies
Sure.
anymore like that. But another one I did want to kind of give a recommendation of is called #Alive. It is on Netflix. It came out in 2020. It's a zombie movie. And fellas, I'm happy to report there's another good zombie film out there.
Okay.
Also a 4-star film by me. On Letterboxd. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. It was recommended by one of our followers on Twitter, so I want to give a shout out to that person.
Doug, Chet, Monique.
Keep going.
That's the person's full name, Doug Chet Monique. It's a very interesting name.
How did your parents land on that? Yeah, this was a recommendation by @VMO. Goes by meh
What's up, man?
on Twitter. So thank you for that recommendation. They said, if you guys love Train to Busan, then #Alive on Netflix is pretty good too. And he was right.
All right.
Or she. Sorry. I don't know what
They were right.
I don't know what a meh it identifies as.
Yeah.
Yeah, they.
They.
They or
Okay.
them.
It's set in South Korea, and it's about this video game live streamer who's just, wakes up, sits down, puts his Bluetooth headset on, and then he starts going about his day playing video games. Well, the outbreak just happens, and he's stuck in his apartment for like 10 days. There's no food, and it does a really good job of using technology he has at his availability, like a drone, right? So he's like flying his drone outside. He tapes his phone onto it, and he's kind of surveying the apartment complex. He's like 11 stories up, right? It's just really unique. I thought it was a really well done job. It's got a lot of heart to it. I want to say the first 45 minutes, you think he's the only character, and then we meet somebody else.
Ooh.
And it's just about their struggle to figure out exactly who's left, what to do next. And it was a unique angle from this, if you want to say an influencer styled person.
And how to monetize zombies into viewers.
Yeah.
How do I turn these zombies into clicks?
A primer.
So check those out. But let's go ahead and get into today's movie, which is Demons 2.
Mark, hold on.
What?
Let me get my insert ready. What I think #Alive is a lucid dissertation on how, as a streamer, your audience could just feel like faceless zombies coming at you, asking for more and more and more of your personal life.
But does it touch on the reliance on telescopic or telephonic devices?
Well, no, because it's on the internet. So it touches on sort of cellular and cable modems.
Yeah, cellular dependency, if
Yeah,
you will.
exactly.
Okay.
Internet
I'm
dependency.
such an idiot. What am I thinking?
Yes, and how as a streamer, you feed on that energy, that negative energy, to turn into a zombie yourself.
Yeah, forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. So write that one down. Transcribe it, slap it on the DVD for free. You're welcome. #Alive. Still
That'll
alive.
go on the inside of the VHS sleeve.
Right, where it belongs.
Also, let's not forget Frightmare is coming up. Texas Frightmare, Dallas, Texas, April 29th. I'm going to be there. Alex is going to be there. We are going to have GraveTalk goodies. If you're going to be at Texas Frightmare and you see us, stop us, say hey, compliment our podcast. Give us $20, whatever you feel like doing. We will have some cool things to give out while we're there, and we're also happy to meet all our fans. Bill Mosley's going to be there. Lance Hendrickson.
Pretty good
Ulrich. Yeah, the whole screen panel is going to be
that's
there.
right. Yeah.
Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy. We got some cool stuff.
We'll say hi to Garrett and
Please
get
do.
your Grave Talk goodies.
Definitely
While you
do that.
can.
Yeah, limited edition. Handshakes, pats on the back, noogies,
Noogies?
Wedgies,
wedgies,
Jeez.
swirlies.
Yeah.
What else is left?
atomic wedgies.
Let's just say hi. We can talk about horror stuff.
Purple nurples.
Oh, the worst kind of nurples.
Tijuana trash cans.
What is that?
I don't know. I just made up words. That's what we're all
okay.
doing here, right?
Well, now I'm going to go wiki that.
Can we talk about Demons
You
2,
don't want.
please?
You don't want
I
to
thought
do.
y'all didn't want to. Okay, let's do it. 1986's Demons 2.
All right, I'm done talking about Demons 2.
It's a real
We're good.
Tijuana trash can of a movie.
We're just getting started. Settle in.
Strap in.
This one was directed by Lamberto Bava.
Directed's maybe giving him too much credit.
Well, somebody's got to. And he said, why not me? It's produced and partially written, I don't know if it was fully written, by Dario Argento of Suspiria fame.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna help
written
you
is
out
a little
here.
bit maybe generous.
Yeah, it was not fully written because there was no full script for this movie. They would just go action and film extras just sort of being confused.
And I want to give a shout out to the dude who did special effects on this, Sergio Stivoletti. I thought some of those were pretty good.
The only person worth their salt on this film.
Totally agree.
Let me start over.
Remix.
Here's who in the movie. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. I'm not reading a name. I don't care.
Who was the guy that played the gym coach?
Okay, I'll give the gym coach credit because he's also in part one.
He's the pimp.
As a totally different character. He was Hank.
Hank
You know,
the Tank.
Here's why I'm not saying anything about these people, because it doesn't matter.
No.
They don't bother to tell us who anybody in this film is except for Sally.
Yeah, Sally's the only important character, and you know who she is because you just immediately are like, God, I cannot wait for you to get murdered.
Oh, she's terrible.
I have a note that says an hour and 10 minutes in, I know two people's names, Jacob and Hannah. That's it.
Oh, okay, well, you mean Sally?
And Sally. I mean Sally.
Okay, well, here's who those people are.
Okay.
Husband of Hannah, George, is played by David Edwin Knight. Hannah, played by Nancy Brilli. And Sally is Coralina Cataldi Tassoni. And then Hank, who is the gym coach instructor, he's Bobby Rhodes.
I gotta say, these do not sound like Italian names. Bobby? Nancy?
Well, it's a mixture.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed that. Some people would kind of line up their English and it would work. And then people speaking Italian would not work.
Well, here's what I'll say. I did not notice that because they were all saying their lines terribly.
Are you new to this Italian cinema? This happens all the time.
Fairly new.
Spaghetti westerns, all of it. It's all,
I do love spaghetti westerns.
There's always a blending of
Yeah.
actors from all regions.
That's fair. That's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
Who would have thought the best westerns would have come out of Italy, a country with no west? It's all east.
It's too late in the evening to do this. But you're right, John. There is no West in Italy. I've got one other name I want to mention. Dario Argento's daughter's in this, Asia Argento. She, I believe it was the girl in the car.
She's a little girl. Yeah.
Poppy, no. Trying to get that award-winning Oscar in that scene.
And she did. Little known fact, Oscar winner.
Here's what Rotten Tomatoes says about Demons 2, The Nightmare Returns.
Wait, this movie had a subtitle?
Somewhere,
Holy shit.
but not in what I watched.
Me either.
67% with the critics out of 12 people.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it goes.
No, you're kidding,
All right,
right?
well, one of them was obviously on acid, so he doesn't count.
44% with the audience out of 5,000 plus.
No.
Okay.
You think it's lower than that?
This needs to be in the 20s, son.
You don't think 44% of people that watch this goes, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. You know what? You're right because Dario Argento's name's attached to this, and people love smelling their own farts when that dude's name pops up.
The gore effects alone keep it out of the 20s. Trust me, we've watched some movies that were solid 20%ers. This is better than that.
There's enough things to watch that have better gore, that have just as good gore effects that are actually like have a plot or some kind of cohesive narrative.
Yes, but does it have a dog snout that opens itself and has green demon eyes in the gums?
That was
Or-
actually
I
really
don't
cool.
think so.
That was actually really cool.
Or
That is
have-
worth 44%.
Agreed. Or the sheer audacity to not only turn a kid into a demon, but then just blow him the fuck up.
Oh, how about he gives birth to a smaller, louder demon than the kid was?
Oh, you mean a puppet demon that fucking like the frog from Warner Brothers? Like, hello, my baby.
The best part about that demon is it's got ups. That demon can jump.
No, you're attached to a string.
That demon has a name. It's Manerick.
No.
Yep. This is what happens when you buy the Blu-ray set of Demons 1 and 2.
I don't know what to say.
He plays for the Knicks. So,
Yeah, Manerick.
dream team candidate.
Famous demon. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Well, as tradition on this podcast, we're doing the second one first. That's kind of why I picked it. The other reason is because, much like you gentlemen looked at me and said, why aren't we doing Demons 1? I said, that's what everybody says.
Yeah.
Anytime I want to talk about Demons 2, it's all like, Demons 1 is better. And you're right, but I don't care. I don't care.
I didn't even know about this movie. I'd seen Demons 1 on Joe Bob last drive-in. Didn't remember that was called Demons. Had no idea that was the movie until like you were like, it's in the theater. I was like, oh wait, I think I've seen that movie. Couldn't tell you what happens other than the fact that some demons attack in a theater because there's some kind of exotic artifact in the lobby of the theater.
It's a mask.
Because you just put ancient artifacts inside a fucking movie theater.
Well, when you're trying to trick people and turn them into demons,
Yeah.
that's absolutely what
Oh, is
you're
that what
doing.
happens in part one?
Yeah.
Well, I assume there's like a demon producer, right? Whose whole job it is to use mass entertainment to turn people into demons.
Do you recall that there's a gentleman with half metal face in that movie?
I
He's
do.
the one that gives everybody the movie ticket to go see, quote unquote, demons.
If
Yeah.
someone gives you a free movie ticket, stop right there.
I'm going to tell you right now.
What if it's big in gold? It was literally like this big.
Yeah.
Like a Willy Wonka golden ticket.
Yeah.
The so progressive of this movie is they didn't even mention that person was a mute with a half metal face. The lady was so excited to get a movie ticket. She's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to tell all my friends.
Well, she gets chased by him through the subway for a little bit or thinks she's being chased. All he wants to do is hand her that ticket.
Yeah. And you know what? She's like, sorry, that was my misunderstanding. I judged you wrong. I will go see your shitty movie.
Yeah. Now, this is all backstory that absolutely does not matter to Demons 2.
No, in fact, they'll just start with a voiceover that tells you everything you need to know. You don't ever have to watch Demon 1. Demon 2, right out the gate, is going to tell you what you need to know.
There's one line that might be worthwhile that could answer some of Garrett's pressing questions. And it takes place in the movie, within the movie Demons, the movie that they get the ticket for. There's some people on screen that go into some sort of like graveyard area or like a crypt
Yeah.
or something like that. And they're digging around and they find a book. And he's like, I can't read this. Oh, wait, yes, I can. It's in Latin. This book was written by Nostradamus. Demons are instruments of evil. Whoever wears the mask becomes a demon. You will spread pestilence throughout the world and entomb your cities. That was in the movie that the people in the theater watched.
From the first movie.
Correct.
So not in this movie. This movie didn't give us any of this information
it's in
at
this-
all.
it's
in the 2-second voiceover over the black screen.
At the beginning, it says Nostradamus said...
No. I'm giving you further details that we didn't get in Demons 2.
Again, so Demons 2 did not give me the information I needed to prepare myself for what was going to happen here.
I guess not.
Yeah, in fact, if you don't pay if you pay too close attention, your mind will just bleed out your nose.
I rewound that black screen with the voiceover 3 times because I had to watch this shit on YouTube.
Well, what does he say?
I could not tell you. I watched it 3 times and I was like, okay, I think I understand what he's saying. I decided just to move on.
He says, look, demons are out there. They're going to do demonic shit. And if you fuck around with demons by feeding them blood, you're going to get fucked. That's pretty much what he says.
Well, I can tell you he didn't say that because according to the Parents Guide, profanity is very mild in this movie.
Yeah, I was paraphrasing.
So, sex and nudity, none. Violence and gore, moderate. Profanity, mild. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, mild. What the fuck kind of horror movie is this?
Well, it's the kind where you see a lot of blood.
I think the gore is pretty fair.
Yeah, I would agree.
The gore's okay. It says the only thing that's intense is shocking scenes.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I was shocked by this whole movie. Now, what's interesting is in the movie within the movie, they say they built a wall around the city from Demons 1.
Wait, what movie? Okay,
Correct.
so is that what
so
those
that's
kids...
the lead in.
Okay, no, hold on. Okay, let me ask my questions because I feel like I'm going to get to a lot of what you guys already know just by asking the questions, and I need them answered in a certain way. The movie starts out, and we see these people inside the excavation site or whatever. You're telling me that's a wall that's built around the theater?
That
Around the
area,
whole city.
the outbreak.
Okay, now is that a documentary crew? Is that a live streaming? Like, what
now
is
you're
that?
into the banana-ness of this movie. It doesn't fucking matter because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It does because people are watching this because if there's a family eating, they're like, turn this off. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
And another family's like, ooh, what are they doing there? As if they're like watching a news crew go in and be like, uncover this like...
Well, it is not shot like a news crew. It's
No.
shot like an actual film.
Did you ever see...
Everyone runs away and we're still watching them get chased by a camera. So
Remember when Geraldo Rivera opened Al Capone's vault? It's that kind of situation, okay? This was a whole media, Fox, alien autopsy, like fomentary. Okay?
If this sounds confusing, it's because it is.
Yeah.
And ultimately, this is the type of movie you'd want to see in a drive-in where you don't really have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because
Or
it's
YouTube.
nonsense. So basically what happens is there is a crew of people that are out looking for artifacts of demon origin. And everybody in our main setting, which is an apartment building, are all watching this.
the excavation crew is digging up the demon, or they find what looks to be a fingernail, right?
Yeah, I love that fingernail.
Okay, so it's like a claw.
Yeah. Well, if blood gets on the remains of a demon, it comes back to life. That's the key thing to know. Blood awakens demons no matter how fucked they are.
Okay.
Now, their power set's super strong. They have trampoline jumping abilities.
Yes, I love the trampoline jumping abilities. When they were leaping those cars, I was like, up, ole!
Yeah. It's a little bit superior resiliency to humans because it seems like sometimes they could take an ass whooping and sometimes, plot dependent, they can't.
A deeper question I have, though, is what is the difference between this and a zombie movie?
Good question.
What's a demon?
I think the main difference is nothing.
Because
Glowing eyes.
let's say you want to compare the demons of this movie to Night of the Demons,
Yeah.
starring Demon Angela.
That's the one with the comet, right?
That movie looks like fucking Citizen Kane compared to this flick.
Yeah.
She actually talks. In this one, the demons don't say anything and they just mutter and go.
Yeah. Well, it's
Which
because the
might-
acid blood burns away their tongue. It's a terrible situation,
Except
Mark.
the acid blood should just burn through their body if that's the case.
Like, please help me. This acid blood sucks.
And I want to say back in the 80s, like there wasn't any of the fast moving,
No.
28 Days Later zombies
That's
yet.
true.
And also to that point, Sally's the only one with acid blood because many zombies get killed and splattered and messed up, and none of their blood does any acid stuff.
You're thinking too hard.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm thinking bare minimum, but I'm still not getting the answers I need.
Also, the main difference is zombies can't infect you through televisions. Demons, though, they could pop right out shocker
good
style.
point.
Okay,
No
okay,
problem.
hold on.
Good point.
Okay, this brings up Okay, or a reliance on whatever bullshit, telescopic shenanigans.
Teledependency.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this live streaming excavation movie that we're watching, that everyone in the movie is watching.
Which doesn't make sense in its own right, because it has to be live, right? Because it's happening.
It has to be.
Yeah. Who would have filmed it?
I thought it was like a news crew, like we're live on the scene. We're going to see what happens
That
to
would
this
make
demon
more
place.
sense. But there's parts of this crew who like stop and open a car and turn on a fucking radio and goes, "Look, it works!" Like, holy shit! And it's like, what are you doing?
I thought it was like college kids.
It's got nothing to do with whatever plan you're doing. And then they're like, "We're going to be fucking rich because we found this demon toenail." And it's like, okay, what is the point of this?
I'll tell you what. This movie is a lucid dissertation on the state of media and its decline in civilization. What you're seeing is Dario Argento calling out how media. So
you're telling me this is idiocracy before idiocracy.
Exactly.
John, I'm going to have to stop you right now.
Yeah.
And normally I love going down John trails because you know what? You're going to find the most amazing things. For the rest of this podcast, though, I'm going to need you to stop trying to justify the shenanigans with headcanon that is no way possible going to fix what we are seeing.
Well, I think if we just turn this movie into a completely different movie, it could be much better.
Well, let's finish out the TV crew / documentary crew
because so one of them gets cut and bleeds on the corpse of a demon. The demon reforms, which was a really cool effect, which I found out they did by melting a wax demon and then basically run it in reverse. So that was kind of cool. I love that effect. Always a big fan of that.
Good stuff.
Like the demon wakes up, he starts attacking everybody. The camera is stationary. Like the cameraman who's been with them, following them this whole time, is now just a stationary cam that's been set up in all these different angles because we get different shots of this demon attack. He runs all the people off. The camera stays put. So I'm imagining there's no cameraman at this point. And then the demon starts, while everyone's watching this, the demon starts running towards the camera, and we're supposed to believe runs through the airwaves to infect Sally at her party?
Just to clarify a little bit, what Garrett is saying is that everybody in this apartment complex are all tuned into the show. After they're watching everybody get attacked.
Live on TV,
which still doesn't make sense. There's cuts in the shots, so it couldn't have been one cameraman.
Yeah.
There's cuts everywhere. But then as the demon's walking through this area, he turns and looks directly at the viewer, which at this moment is Sally, totally dialed in, and starts running towards the camera or the television screen and starts pressing his way through the TV screen like it was rubber.
Yeah, like the demon runs up to the camera on location and transports himself through this camera to Sally's TV. And as you know, Mark said, it's like, imagine like the Freddy Krueger face coming out of the wall in part one.
Right.
Like it's like pushing its latex way through this TV screen with like the
cool effect.
Yeah, really cool effect with the snow and stuff on it. But by doing that, it's able to go through the TV. But why did it have to go to Sally's? Why couldn't it have gone to every TV at once?
Well, the cable cut out, right? I think so. Everyone else was like, all right, fuck it, let's move away. Sally, because she's like a sociopath, just attacks her television and is like, what the fuck? This piece of shit. First, my dress is fucked. Now my TV's fucked. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Fucking Jacob's coming.
Was anything fucked?
Everything was
okay.
fucked.
I just was curious.
Yeah, she was so upset, and I think that opened her up. And she was the only one still watching the TV. Everyone else was like what a regular person does when the cable cuts out.
Look at him making this movie better.
He's not. He's not, though.
Moved on with their lives. Now, the real question is, why did it only affect this one building? Riddle me that.
What was this one TV? Everyone was watching.
But everyone's they weren't.
TV was, yeah, they weren't.
We saw when the cable cut out, people look away and go do other shit.
We saw a few people look away.
Well, I mean, it's got to be sufficient, right? I mean, they're standing. We got to watch. There's like a 20-story building. We have to see every person look away.
I'm going to this movie and see if John's in the credits here because he's putting a lot of work into this one.
No, look, this movie's got a lot of flaws, but I mean, it is a movie, right? You got to give it some leeway.
I gave it way more leeway than
assume. Like, okay, yeah, people looked away because we can't just watch every resident.
Okay, you know what? You're right. Let's go ahead and touch on a few of these key scenes that help build this plot point up to the point where Sally gets attacked and becomes a demon herself.
Yes. Maybe she just won the lottery.
Because we get a couple of whippersnappers in an elevator using a screwdriver to try to pry open the panel.
Because it's broken.
Oh, is that why?
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The security guard kicks him off and says, this is an upstanding building. Get out of here.
Go find an unrespectable building. This is a respectable one.
Now, the question is, when the elevator gets stuck, do you think it was because of them fucking around or because it was a shitty elevator?
Well, that's a question. But I thought it was because there was no power in the building. Can't be true because then when necessary and there's still no power, it starts moving again all on its own.
So you've got those people in the elevator. You've got 2 prostitutes, a male and a female.
Nope.
That guy's a prostitute.
No, he's not.
The lady's a prostitute.
Yes.
Okay.
He's the husband of Hannah.
Wait, no, she was married?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. She's
No.
pregnant.
I thought he was a prostitute that got her knocked up, and he was like, "I'm gonna do the right things."
Absolutely not.
What?
He's a student. Remember, there's a whole
I learned
pointless scene
physics.
about them learning stuff as she's like putting the dishes away.
Tell me the coefficient of
Don't remember
soap.
that.
He cheats. He looks in the book and
Yeah.
reads the answer off like he's some brainy guy, and he's an
Oh
idiot.
wait, I do remember them studying. That was Hannah.
Yeah.
Oh, and that guy?
And that
I thought that
guy.
was different people.
No.
Nope. Same guy.
Then who's the old people having dinner?
Well, neither one of them are prostitutes either, though.
No, I didn't think they were. These people are too old to be prostitutes.
There is one prostitute.
What I like about
Okay.
Hannah's
Her name
apartment.
is Mary.
So, Mary the prostitute. All right. What I like about Hannah's apartment, neon everywhere. They've got like 12
neon
neon
sign that says
signs.
night?
Yeah.
And then a whole section dedicated to plants.
Yeah, as you do.
Like a wall of plants.
Yeah, opposite the neon.
You think those plants will be outside, lady, where the sun is?
Neon gives everything you need for plants. Okay, it's a well-known 80s plant thing.
It's like Brondo, but 80s.
Yeah, it's got what plants need.
Also, it wasn't until the end of the movie when Hannah starts going into labor that I realized that she was pregnant at all.
Oh, yeah,
Had
she's like-
no idea she was pregnant this whole movie.
She's exactly 7 hours pregnant in this fucking movie. Like, it was like, what do you have, like a little belly?
she's
Like,
like-
did you have a hamburger for lunch, lady?
Just found out I was pregnant yesterday, and
But she gives full birth.
yeah. Well, doesn't she send her husband out to go get pregnancy food?
I don't know what happened.
She sends him on she goes on a quest to get cake.
which actually didn't roll up any red flags for me because I'm always looking for cake. So
Yeah.
I was like, no harm here.
I must have missed this cake subplot.
Well, yeah, okay. So they're
They
talking.
walk into Sally's apartment. Like every character walks into Sally's apartment. The young kid.
Oh, that
Hannah.
cake.
Yeah, that cake.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh man.
So are all these apartment connected?
Well, they're all friends with Sally. Why?
Oh.
God knows.
Because she's having that loud party. Now, we did skip over the very first scene. What I actually appreciated was you see a giant knife with what you think to be blood dripping on it, and it turns out to be strawberry jelly as if someone's making Sally's birthday cake.
Yeah. Putting way more effort than Sally
Oh,
deserves.
I thought that guy was a coroner or something like that because he had the
He was writing like "Happy Birthday, Sally."
I thought he
On a
was
corpse, not a
I
not
thought
a
he
cake.
was like a creepy coroner guy who was making a cake
Are
to
you
take
sure
to
you
Sally's.
saw the right
I
movie?
swear to God. Okay, but we got
2
Sally's-
prostitutes, a coroner, and a corpse.
So we got the party at Sally's. Sally's just a right mess.
Oh,
I mean,
she
is just.
She sucks.
She seems like she's happy, and she's really pissed off about how the dress looks on her. And
This is the
then
first time she put the dress on because she's very upset. She goes,
You look great, Sally. Honest, it's not true. My hair stinks. This dress stinks. Look, the whole thing's just disgusting. I mean, these sleeves that go back and forth. I told you. It's just, what am I gonna do now?
We came to celebrate you, not your dress.
I know. Well, what about this, huh? Does this look okay? Does it look good? No, it looks awful.
"What are
Hey,
you
Sally, I got a fix for you. Cut the sleeves off.
It's like she's never had a dress before.
Yeah.
It's her
Never
first
tried on
dress.
clothes, yeah.
Yeah, because her friend comes in and is like, no one's here to celebrate your dress. They're here to celebrate you.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, what about this one? Sucks too, and throws it aside and starts pouting. I'm like, God damn, lady.
It's also like, Sally, that came from your closet. If it sucks, you bought it.
Everyone else is out in the living room just having a blast.
Time of their lives.
This party is raging.
They're like, God, it's so much better when Sally's not here.
And then they decide to bring out the cake and everyone puts a single candle in it. When did that become a tradition?
Look, dude.
Everyone puts their own candle. Do you bring your own candle? Do they hand them out?
If only that was what. First, what happens is the phone rings, and it rings for so fucking long. I was like,
yeah.
God damn it, just pick up the phone.
Well, look, every shot in this film establishes a little too far.
Yeah.
You know, we could make a lot of cuts to this.
And the nerdy guy Jake or whatever answers it. I don't know if Jake's his name.
I don't
but
know. And he's
making up a
like,
name.
Sally. And she's like, shut the fuck up.
there is a Jake in this movie.
And so Jake picks it up and is like, oh, what's up, Jacob? Yeah, come on over. It's Sally's birthday. Everyone except you was invited.
It can't be Jacob.
Can't be Jacob. No, Jacob's who's
Jacob
coming.
is the driver in the
It's
car.
someone else. And he's like, yeah, come on over. Bring Jacob or something like that. No, it is Jacob.
It is
no,
Jacob.
no. Jacob is on the phone.
Yeah.
That's what he just
The
said.
guy who answers is
No,
not Jacob.
his name was
No,
Jake.
I know.
Jake
What did you
said,
say?
"Come
Jake's talking to Jacob?
We're just calling him Jake.
yeah."
Jake is not talking to Jacob.
All right, Joe's talking to Jacob.
Mystery guest 1 is talking to Jacob on the line. And to be fair, we've never met Jacob.
No.
We don't know who Jacob is.
We've not met anybody. That's what I'm saying. This movie doesn't matter because the movie doesn't really care to tell you anything or do any character development whatsoever. It's not one of them films.
No, well, what's
Don't
important?
come to that for this.
The most important part of this movie is to know when Sally finds out that Jacob's coming, she flips her fucking wig. She really hates Jacob.
It was Jacob.
Jacob! And you told him to come here?
Sally,
To my house?
sorry, I thought that.
You idiot! I don't want him to come. Otherwise, you're gonna leave and just get out of here. I mean, will you all get out of here, please? Get out!
And I thought at that point the movie would tell us what
Yeah.
happened. Nope.
Yeah, do they ever share?
No,
Why?
they never do. All we know about Jacob is he's really good at driving and he's never been in an accident before.
Yeah, that
Which,
changes.
by the
it.
way,
Look, that whole scene tells you everything you need to know about Jacob and why she's probably upset.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jacob sucks somehow worse than
it's a
Sally.
group of Italian punk rockers, and you're just like, what is this dude's deal? I thought these were the guys from the cemetery at the beginning. And then I was like, no, wait, they changed clothes, so now they're punks. So I thought it was those dudes because it's like, oh, they're gonna go show them the cool claw that they found.
There's no character development
Nope.
or characters don't go anywhere.
No.
Their characters' job in this film is to walk on screen and say a line of dialogue so something later will make a tad bit more sense.
And it doesn't though, because they just ask more questions with it. Anyway,
Even these punks, though, are like a step down from the punks in the first movie.
And the punks in the first movie are sniffing coke out of a coke can with a straw.
Yeah.
little
they're-
toot.
So Sally freaks out. She storms in her room, and then her friends are like, lock her in there. Let's do this cake bit.
I also love that nobody left.
They are not respecting
I was
Sally's
like, get out of
wishes.
my apartment. Does that mean keep partying?
They're like, oh, classic Sally. Lock her in her room and let's...
I gotta feel like this is a pretty common occurrence with Sally.
Yeah, the least believable part of this very unbelievable
No one
movie.
seems shocked about this except the person's like, hey, why is she so mad at Jacob? And the girl goes, oh, like, let me tell you, and then never tells us.
Well, she's like, mind your business is what she tells
Okay,
them.
okay.
But the least believable part of this unbelievable movie is that all these people are friends with Sally. Like,
I don't know. There's a lot of people who are friends with shitty people.
I
so.
think Sally's the kind of person that would have that one friend. Just
Yeah.
the one. And they're only friends because they pity her.
oh, maybe she's like Regina George and has a book that has information on all these people.
Boo, you whore.
Sally gets possessed by the television, like we've talked about. Then we cut to the basement gym and
First floor.
first floor gym, and Hank the Tank is there just training. He's seeing people doing shitty squats. He's like, step that squat game up.
He gives that one gal a real hard time. He's like, you ain't gonna amount to shit if you don't fucking try or
Yeah.
something like that. I was like, damn, what'd she do?
Yeah, well,
but we're never gonna know.
yeah, she
The movie
didn't
has no problem
we-
or interest to tell us.
We know what she did. She didn't try.
Oh, yeah.
If she was trying, she wouldn't have drawn Hank's attention. Then it cuts back upstairs. Birthday cake comes. Sally comes out. She's much more calm. Turns out, though, she's a demon. She goes to blow out her candles.
No, dude. You're acting like it's all subtle. Like the moment she walks out, she's like panting. Her veins are popping out of her arm, like Macho
Well, yeah.
Man Randy Savage. She's making fist balls on the table and like huffing and puffing. And it's like, and everyone's like, huh, typical Sally.
Yeah. So she goes to blow out the candles and like completes her transformation into Uber Demon.
She becomes the demon. No, okay. So question here. Is she possessed by the demon from the TV, or is she an additional demon now? And there's two demons, one at the site and one at Sally's.
Well, they didn't show any possession in the first movie.
Yeah, just multiplication.
So the mask that you put on scrapes your cheek, and whatever contagion that turns you into a demon is in the mask, right?
But she doesn't get cut in this one.
Well, there's
just-
a line in the film, this film, where they say, we figured out that, or no, it's where our camera crew's walking around. He's like, I heard that the contagion was spread through their fingernails. So if you get scratched, you turn into a demon. So I'm thinking
Sally didn't get scratched at the TV though.
Yeah, in Demons 2, I do think they have possession abilities. I think that's what that scene of the guy coming out of the TV is meant to imply, that came out of the TV into Sally.
Yeah, because she doesn't get cut or anything.
well, because the kid cuts away. Remember, she's looking at the TV, and then all of a sudden the demon's behind her, and it goes blur, and it cuts.
But when shit's about to go fucking tails up here, we don't see the other demon. We just see Sally.
He's taking a nap.
He's like, you know what? My job
He
here is
doesn't
done.
make another appearance this whole film.
He's very teledependent. He had to take a nap.
Okay, fair enough. I guess at the end of the day, does not matter. What is important is Sally just wrecks all of her friends in record time.
And mauls them all.
She starts bleeding out of her face.
Yeah, as one does.
I thought she was like grabbing her hand, but I remember something different.
She grabbed that one guy's arm, and then demon fingernails came out from under her fingers.
That's when the attack starts. She
Yeah.
becomes a full demon, attacks everybody, and they're going to become demons too. Because,
But I like the
why
scene
not?
they show, like, as her transformation happens, like her teeth fall out, like they're baby teeth.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
And then, like,
gross.
demon teeth grow in.
Yeah,
was-
the effects in this were really creepy and gory and good.
And probably my favorite effect of the entire movie, and I know it probably was really easy to do, is just like when the demons are far off silhouettes, they've got those glowing refractor eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really neat look. And they're all different colors. So, you know,
That's
that
how you
was
can tell them
fun.
apart.
Well, yeah, I thought they were only green.
No, there was like pink ones, blue ones.
Purple, red.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Again, I love the look of that. That was actually really cool. But then her face, after she mauls everybody, she just stands there, starts bleeding out of her face, which drips down to the floor, which now is alien acid blood, and starts eating through the floor.
Yeah, somebody watched Alien that day and was like, I want that in this movie.
And I could not believe it. I was like, wait a minute. Am I supposed to know this about demons? And also, how come no other demon? That's the thing is when like they all become demons, I'm like, how come no other demon has acid blood?
Queen Demon, Sally. QDS. So she's
Okay.
got the acid blood.
Okay, sure.
No, I
Or
think
the movie didn't bother to keep up with its own lore.
that they couldn't afford enough acid blood. so-
Speaking of which, you guys, let me point out real fast that someone was hired for this movie and they had the job of script continuity. That person, Francesca Giotto, should be fired and never allowed to work again.
First job ever, last job ever.
Or this is the best she could do with what she had to work with. All right. If
I
without
love the fact that
Francesca-
this is continuity correct and this is what it was supposed to be.
yeah, without her, this movie would have been even more ridiculous.
This did feel like they were filming as it was being written.
Yeah.
It's a front for drug money, you guys. I swear to God.
Like, I filmed this page today.
Let's discuss some of the other tenets, right? Because this movie's going to pop around like vignette. Like, here's what this guy's
Yes.
doing. Here's what this family's doing. Here's what this person's doing. There's like this lady who's got a dog. And the dog
Spinster. Classic Italian spinster.
she's by herself.
Yes.
And I want to say the door goes ding dong or something happens at the door that makes the woman look through the peephole and a dog is raised into view as if someone working on the set is lifting the dog up to the eye hole. And I know this because when she opens the door, the dog is about 1.5 feet tall. There's no fucking way that thing could have jumped up and said, "Let me in."
She's like, "What's up, Sparky? Come on in."
She just let her dog wander around by herself.
Yeah. But she's that tenant.
She sent it to the store for medicinal prenatal vitamins.
I
I
need
don't know.
pregnant food.
yeah, you know she's not picking up.
She went to get some cake from Sally.
Yes.
That dog was out for cake.
Oh, if that dog had a little plate
That
with
dog
cake
is
in
the
its
only
mouth,
friend of Sally.
That would have been amazing.
the best scene in the movie. It came back with a little paper plate.
Oh,
with,
you brought Mama some cake. Thanks, Ringo.
Did you notice that this lady had the dog and then she also had a statue of a dog?
No, I missed the dog statue.
She has a
Yeah.
giant life-size statue of a dog when she's like, "Baby, are you okay?" And they show a shot of the dog over the shoulder and then there's a statue of a dog. I was like, "Oh, she's got 2 dogs." And I was like, "Oh no, wait, that's a statue of a dog." What a weird lady.
That's his predecessor. She gets all of her dogs
so
statuized.
you've decided to bronze your dog.
Yeah. 'Cause it's not called statuized, huh?
Oh, I like that. That's what we're calling it from now on. I think that's all you're going to get out of character development for this
No.
character. She's a dog lady.
Well, she had one job. It was to tell us that the windows were double pane and that you can't open them. Those are important pieces of information so that when nobody leaves this building, we know, oh, right. Because the lady who was hot talked about why she couldn't open the windows.
Which one? There's a couple hot ladies.
No.
No, physically
She
hot.
was temperature wise. That's what she complains about. She's like, God, it's so hot in here because of these fucking double pane
Buster
windows.
Poindexter style.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, she's like, these windows.
Thank you
are-
for saying it out loud as if the joke wasn't good enough to get on its own.
Some people may not know who that is.
Well, then who's the old couple at the Oktoberfest?
They are
That is
irrelevant.
okay, no, but they are the parents of the kid who's home alone, and we'll talk about him now.
Wait.
Where he's home, and his only scene is to pick up a telephone and go,
Hello. No, Daddy isn't home. Neither's Mommy. I'm alone. Yes, goodbye.
okay, bye.
I feel like, look, I was a latchkey kid probably like this kid. And like one of the few rules I remember is, don't tell strangers that you're home alone.
Yeah, I had the same rule.
Do you think they had those PSAs in Italy?
I think that
stranger danger was a thing in the 80s.
Any adult would be like, okay, listen, little Timmy. Couple of rules, right? Don't like set the house on fire. Don't let strangers in, and also don't tell strangers that you're home.
No, whatever you do, don't go over to Sally's for a party.
Yeah. But no, this kid's just volunteering the information. It was like a telemarketer. Didn't even need to know that information.
And that kid's toys were wild. They span from action figures to like speak and says.
He has Snake Mountain from He-Man laying on its side. Kid, it's a play set. You want that standing up.
Mark's upset how this kid is playing with his own toys.
He's got a
laser gun.
Mr. Fisto He-Man guy. I forget his name exactly, but it was something Fisto. Kid Fisto's a Star Wars.
I don't know about He-Man. That was before my time.
And then, you're right. And then it's like Duplo Legos.
Like he had a wide variety of toys. I was like, okay, whatever's up with this kid. I didn't know those were his parents. I was like, who's this old couple at Oktoberfest? And why am I so jealous they're at Oktoberfest?
Well, that's when she starts getting the tingle sensation that something's wrong with little Billy.
Disturbance in the force.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what they were saying. I thought she was getting turned on and wanted to go home. And it was like, let's go home. I'm feeling like a sensation.
No, she thinks something's wrong with her kid.
We'll slip Timmy a Benadryl and get to it.
And his name was just Fisto.
Fisto.
Okay. The kid?
The He-Man toy.
I hope it was the kid. That'd be great.
Got it. So there's the kid who's home alone, the Italian Macaulay Culkin. We got the old couple at Oktoberfest. I mean, if you've already abandoned your kids, just have fun at Oktoberfest.
Yeah, but the point about that, I mean, that old couple literally does not matter.
Because they don't come back, right?
No, we see that one scene with them, and then I think that's it.
No.
We see them again at the end for like a second. When did they come back?
No.
Okay, well, tell me. I wrote them out of my memory.
This is like a Where's Waldo book, but on cinema.
So we're
on film.
We're gonna have to now skip to Jacob live on the scene, driving like a bat out of hell.
Oh, that's right. Jacob hits them.
He crashes into the parents because
right.
he ran a stoplight.
Holy shit! That was like a 9-hour drive.
What you don't know about Jacob, he just goes around the block over and over. He's like, I never crash because I only drive this one street.
Well, don't forget, this is pre-MapQuest, pre-smartphone.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember where Sally's living.
As talked about in our previous episode, he's in Atlas.
That's right.
Call that little move a callback.
So who else do we have in the apartment? What other tenants are we
got
missing?
the gym people.
We got the prostitutes.
Right.
The elevator
there's
people.
The one prostitute.
I'm going to imagine he's a prostitute who knocked up a girl who was going to school and he decided to do the right thing.
You can do that, but that's wrong.
Okay. So if John can headcanon these movies, I can too.
Of course you can. There's no law against it. Apparently.
Everyone's a prostitute in this movie.
Yeah.
The actual prostitute, Mary, goes to an older gentleman's apartment. Mm-hmm. He's in there. I don't think he has any other job other than to be the guy who has the client.
I think she says, do you want to do it with the music on? Okay.
No, he's like, can we do it with the TV on?
Yeah, something like that.
Teledependency.
I was just...
Oh, man, this movie's deep.
He starts talking about Huey Lewis in the news.
So Mary goes and has sex with this old dude because she's a prostitute. That's the prostitute
and George.
Oh, okay.
George.
Yeah, that is everybody.
Hannah's
school
George. Chum.
Excellent rope climber.
School chum?
Well, they're in school, right?
They're married, I thought.
They are married.
Are they?
Yes. They're married, but he's going back to school to become a physicist. And she is also a physicist because she's like, if I could do it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's like, I took this test while I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
After seeing the decisions they make in this movie, neither one of them should be allowed anywhere near scientific equipment.
Yeah. So they're both they're both physicists, or he's an up and coming physicist. It's irrelevant, but the point
Their
is
scientific method consists of fuck around and find out.
Yeah. And they are finding out in this movie.
Okay, so he goes to go get food for her or something like that because he goes back in the elevator and he meets Mary, the prostitute, and she goes, done already? And he's like, yeah. And that's why I thought he was a prostitute.
No, that's not what he said. She goes, you're all done with your work too. And he goes, what? And she's like, never mind.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I thought that was an agreement. She kind of smiled.
I didn't know.
No, she mistook him for a prostitute, just like you're doing now.
He's got very prostitute-y vibes.
And then Mary's like, you know what? I hate elevators.
I thought he looked like Italian Brad Pitt
Prostitutes.
from like the 90s.
You guys are saying the same thing.
Oh,
So Mary hates elevators. That's important to know because it's a character
Wait, why
trait.
does she hate elevators?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
She
She just does. Literally, when both of them are going up and waiting for the elevator to come down, she goes, I hate elevators.
It's so that when she gets stuck in it in here,
You'll
right
know
now,
exactly what she's afraid of and hates.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys forgot about the room with the lady in the tanning booth.
Oh, yeah.
Who's supposed to look naked, but she wasn't. I checked. And
Detailed.
And then you go just to the room connected, and there's a man in a box. What the fuck is that thing?
It's a sauna.
Yeah.
But his head's sticking
It's
out.
a personal sauna.
What?
Yeah, those existed.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's just like a box. He looks
it's a
like
steam box.
He looks like a Dalek or something like that
Yeah.
with a human head.
Well, you don't want to steam your head. You can see.
Yeah. So if you can't afford the full room scale steamer,
You just steam your lower body.
Well, that's where you keep your tension. You don't keep your tension in your skull, or maybe you do. Most people don't.
Look, I think everyone's a prostitute. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on anymore.
So, well, I'll tell you what, that whole sauna, probably a prostitute.
I apologize to our listeners. This is bananas words coming out of our mouths, and I'll be honest, this is a perfect representation of this movie.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think this is our best episode ever. So,
it's on the nose. All this stuff happens in the
Yeah.
film.
So the guy in the sauna gets dripped demon blood, acid demon blood on him. So he becomes a demon, and then he goes in the other room, and Panini presses the lady in the tanning bed.
yeah.
Which I wonder if that's how that works.
No.
They can
Are
get
those
pretty-
lights
they
really
can get-
hot enough
they
to
can
like
get warm? But I don't think they're
put
hot
some
enough to
grill
Panini
marks
press.
on a body?
I think we did some research in our Final Destination.
Part three, yes.
Yeah. No, I don't believe that's how it works.
Didn't think so.
Yeah. Otherwise, people would just be dying like crazy.
But it's a
if-
fun death, and all the same, even if it's not realistic.
Yeah. Well, I do like, though, it did look like he was panini pressing her. That was incredible. Cuts
There's
to the-
also blood dripping from the acid blood is pouring out into Dog Lady's apartment.
Yeah.
Because the dog licks it, and that's how the dog becomes a demon.
Right. And the dog looks cool at every point, I
was
think.
so
Even like far
disappointed.
away, they show the dog with the glowing eyes
So
too.
are
And
all
I'm
these
like,
apartments on top of each other then? Because the blood would have to just drip straight
Yes.
down. But they all seem to be on the same floor because the dog lady and the kid just walk over to Sally's apartment at one point and look at the cake and go, huh? Like,
Then they used
Well-
the elevator.
the elevators aren't working though at this point because
Oh, yeah.
non-prostitute and prostitute are stuck in an elevator.
well, there's also stairwells.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think
The old ancient art of stairs.
I don't think the kid was actually below Sally's apartment.
Yeah, because he doesn't
Because there was
get
no blood that drips. No,
Okay.
it actually does.
Yes.
It drips into the closet.
Oh,
when he's hiding in
yeah.
the closet.
Yeah, that's how he gets impregnated by a demon. Oh, okay, hold on. How far are we off from that scene? Because I have questions.
Look, the thing about this movie is
Let's
it all
rewind-
happens at once.
Let's
so.
finish Dog Lady's death.
Yeah, I was so disappointed because I wrote, if something bad happens to this dog, I'm done with this movie. And then that poor
Well, the dog's
dog.
barking at the blood like this is evil. I don't want it. And
Sensed
even,
it.
and even the lady's like, "What? You don't like this? You're mad at it or something like that?"
He's like, bitch, you should be mad at it too. There is acid blood coming through your ceiling.
"You're not getting your deposit back."
yeah.
Well, it doesn't take long for the dog to start snarling at her.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's the matter? And then you see kind of, the gum line start to go back and reveal these teeth. And then just like in Sally's case, the teeth fall out of the dog and demon teeth are in the mouth. And as the fur and the skin go backwards, it reveals tiny beady green eyes inside of the mouth. And that is now the demon head is the gums of the dog. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's neat.
It
I
was
don't
a
think I've seen
really,
that.
really cool, interesting way to show
Agreed.
the dog had become a demon.
The dog also makes like a cheetah sound. That really,
Jaguar. I wrote
Yeah.
that down. He goes. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Look, you could just mix that into anything and it's
I
cool.
literally put. Oh snap! That dog just made a jaguar noise.
And the dog lady wraps herself in her curtains and then gets mauled to death.
Everyone runs away from stuff as if they're playing like musical chairs.
It also is like, is this the first time you've been in your own apartment, lady? How did you get tripped up by your own shit?
Well, the next scene is the gym scene where one of the guys in the gym becomes infected and then starts fighting other people with the gym.
All right, so the power goes out, and
Yeah.
Hank's like, everybody out, except for this one couple buff dudes who just refuse to give it.
Yeah, he's like, I never quit. Fuck power. It's like, dude, you're working out in the dark? That just seems unsafe.
And he's like, fine, you do you, or whatever. And he starts to walk out, and they're all in the locker rooms changing and shit.
Which I was like, finally, here we go. And no, nothing.
Not this
No.
time. But then random demon guy number 3 runs in and just starts wrapping the guy up in the workout machine.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
That was great. He just he doesn't really do anything. He just kind of squeezing the guy's like, ha! that? Like, I'm mildly uncomfortable. And I was like, I guess he's supposed to be killing him with this, but it just looks like he's just kind of like, is that snug enough for you?
You know, this isn't our first death by exercise machine that we've covered on this podcast. And I was hoping for something a little more close to Death Spa.
Oh, interesting, because my next note says this movie makes Death Spa look like Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I mean, also I don't understand that. I don't think the exercise equipment that he was using would make the hug hurt more. If anything, it would be worse for the demon because he's got to lift those weights.
Now look,
I mean, I think the important part is he dies.
At this point, everyone's like, Hank goes, all right, everybody get the fuck out of here. And everyone starts panicking. And they run to this steel gate and they start smacking it 27 times. No one's trying to lift it, open it, move it.
Where they run to the car garage.
Wait, that was a car. Oh, that was a car garage.
Yes, because there's cars everywhere.
So he's like, all the doors are locked. Maybe we can get out through the garage. And they all go down.
The gym connects directly to the car garage.
On the first floor, mind you. Yeah.
Probably.
That seems unsafe. Like, perverts could just walk right into that locker room.
I think that's what you'd want, though, if you lived there, and assuming that was a public gym, which is what it seemed like. You don't want people having to go through your apartment lobby to get to the
was
gym.
it a public gym? I thought it was for the people who lived at the, I almost said hospital, the people who lived at the apartment complex.
It seemed public-y based on the number of people there and the fact that Hank was like holding a class.
Okay, all right. I'll give it to you.
And
so they end up at the car garage. They're slapping this metal door, which I don't know what they expected to happen.
Hank throws like a pot at it that doesn't do anything.
Look, they're in panic.
Yeah, fair enough.
They're just trying to get out.
But Hank rallies the troops. He's like, all right, barricade the door, and then let's also start a fire.
Did he say to start the fire? Or people just started? My favorite part is when he hands the meathead a flippin' fire extinguisher, and he's like, how do I use this? He's like, read the directions. It's on the thing. And he's like, duh. He's
no,
like,
he goes, extinguish and aim at. And he goes, you got the looks, but you ain't got the brains, or something like that. And I was like, oh, Hank, you're not my favorite character.
Hank should have been in a Rocky movie. That's why I would like to see Hank and Mickey interact.
Have you ever seen Iron Eagle?
Of course.
This dude has massive Lou Gossett Jr. vibes.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I was like, they must have watched all the Iron Eagles back to back and like, I want him. But they couldn't afford him, so they got the bargain bin version.
We got our own.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Iron Eagle, man.
Let's
what
go.
an 80s plot. We got to steal a jet to go rescue your dad.
We did Jets last week. We're not doing it again this week.
Well, right before this scene in the gym takes off, we cut to one scene which I want to point out because it's very important to the plot, as is everything we've talked about.
Really?
Let's circle back. The plot needs this.
We cut to a car that has a punk guy.
It was Jacob.
That's the driver. But who was the Karen girl sitting next to him that was like, you got to slow down, you're going too fast? Who was that?
Doesn't matter.
Sally's arch enemy. See, Jacob dumped Sally for Karen, and that's why Jacob's in trouble.
Wait, are you serious? When did they talk about this in the movie?
They don't at all.
Oh, God. You had me going. I was like, when did this happen? Because I would have liked to know this. Anyway, I just wanted to point that scene out because it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that it reminds us that Jacob is on his way for no reason.
Yeah. Well, the reason that scene exists is because in Demons 1, they had punks driving around. So, like, we need punks driving around in Demons 2.
Only in Demons 1, the punks actually go into the movie theater.
That's true.
And get turned into demons.
Yeah, demon punks, dunks.
Here, Jacob doesn't make his way into the apartment ever, does he?
No, he just dies. Just regular old dead.
He wrecks the parents in the street, and that's the end of that plot line.
Which I appreciated. I was like,
this movie is like a choose your own adventure book, and then you basically like get to a dead end. You're like, oh wait, no, go back. I want to try that again.
well, here's what happened. They're like, okay, we're at 90 minutes. All right, kill Jacob. Let's go. We've got enough film here.
So what the fuck happens after this?
All right.
Remember the kid who was alone? The one that says,
yeah.
I'm all by myself. Mister, I'm on the phone with you. I'm all by myself.
And he gets his little laser gun.
He goes into Sally's, sees the mayhem that happened there, and then he like freaks out and runs back to his apartment and then hides in the closet. And that's when he gets bloodied.
Okay.
So this kid just goes into Sally's party. The cake is still there, pristine.
Well, he's probably looking for an adult because the power went out.
Okay, but still, stay in your apartment.
Yeah. Well, also, you know what? I was a pretty stupid kid, as you can tell, because I'm not a brilliant adult. But
You're on this podcast.
Yeah.
You have made some poor choices.
I never thought that my toy guns were actual weapons. I never grabbed one as like some sort of this kids in movies do this all the time. I never.
You're right. This happens more than it should.
Yeah, it should happen 0 times, but.
Listen, Billy, if you ever get in trouble, get your fake blaster out.
Yeah. And I was dumb as a doornail, so
he zap him.
He gets all bloody. He's like, what is this on me? The next time we see him, he is attacking Hannah. He goes up into Hannah's apartment, and he's all demon kid.
So for the next 20 minutes, we're going to watch Hannah run around this apartment being chased by a small child who easily could be kicked in the face or anything at this point. But no, she's going to basically swift paced outwalk this kid through her apartment, lock herself in the bathroom. Was it the bathroom she goes into or the closet or something like that?
Well, it's at some point during the chase, Tommy falls down and his chest bursts open and gives birth to Manerick, the tiny imp demon.
the best demon in the film. Mm-hmm. This demon...
I thought he's a pretty good puppet. I thought he looked cool.
I had no complaints about him. He turns into a kangaroo and just hibbity hops his way.
He looked okay, but then you know like when a vent figure gets pulled by the strings like to jump over something and there's no movement of the body, it's just like a dead limp thing and just kind of whoop. That's exactly how this puppet moved. It's like time to jump off of this table. Whoop. And I was like, okay, you're losing me with that movement.
That's how demons move, though. That's just, that's a known demonic jump.
I know that's not true because I watched one come through the TV, John.
They jump through
Did you see it jump through the TV?
They jump from the power of evil and not from the muscles in their body.
Exactly.
It's like if the devil picked him up and set him down.
Please stop justifying it and let's move on.
Satan picks him up and...
Satan, take the wheel.
Now, look, okay... Just like they saw Alien and needed alien blood in their demon movie, someone also had just watched Gremlins and needed a gremlin.
They also needed a chest burst. That was a classic chest burst.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Aliens times 2.
Yeah, I'd like to think it was 2 separate people who saw Aliens.
Hey, Billy, I just saw this movie. It's called Aliens. Me too.
Oh, shit.
I wrote it into the script.
Me too.
My next note is dropkick this fucking puppet. Like, she just is so terrified of this thing.
She traps it in her fold-in bed. You remember the beds that are inside people's walls?
First she puts the towel over it, and it just shreds right through. I was like, what did you think was going to happen there, Hannah?
It'd go to sleep like a chicken.
Honestly, I'm glad I didn't know Hannah had a baby. I'm glad I didn't know Hannah had a baby at this point, because I would have been like, both of you need to just basically be ended. Like, I would want them to not procreate and exist in this world. That's how dumb Hannah was.
She was panicking. I think that you overestimate your decision-making ability when a little kangaroo demons jumping at
I can guarantee you when something comes at me that's running fast and is small, it's getting kicked. All right? People keep your kids away from me, and if they bum rush me, they're getting jacked in the head.
The acid blood, eat your foot off.
They don't have acid blood, though, because only Sally does.
Oh,
I'm just calling her Sammy.
Good point.
Only Sally does.
Well, you heard it. Watch your kids or they'll get punted across the room.
Just don't let your kids bum rush me. That's all I'm saying.
That's why they call him Garrett Kid Kicker.
How old is he? 6? Kapow! Man, he's got some good distance on him.
So she traps the demon Manerick.
That's going to come back to haunt.
It's the only name that I care to know in this entire movie.
Well, Hank.
And Hank. Well, she folds
and Hannah.
Okay.
And Jacob.
No.
And Sally.
They don't matter.
And,
no, Manerick is obviously the main character of this movie.
How did you know it had a name? Did you look it up?
I bought the Blu-ray. There are special features.
Okay, but I'm saying it's not in the movie, right?
No.
Okay.
In fact, there's a whole 45-minute documentary on Manerick that Mark watched for us.
It was on Channel 42. So she folds the bed back in. The demon's trapped there. It's starting to break out, and then for no reason, she grabs her garden shears and cuts off one of its fingernails.
I have a note. Why are we trimming its nails at this time?
Her motherly instincts kicked in. She's like, "Oh, you can't have nails like that."
Also, how long was she watching that painting? Because this thing's slowly clawing its way to the painting. It's not like slashing its way open. It's like... And I'm like... How long have you been standing there watching it do this? Like, run away.
Or come up with a better plan to end the demon yourself.
Then trim its nails.
Because her husband, who comes in immediately pretty quick after this.
Yeah, because he's still stuck in the elevator, right?
Yeah. Right now he is.
Okay,
we'll get to him in a second. Because, boy, talk about fucking Superman. But anyway.
Well, let's do that now. And then we'll talk about his epic battle with Manerick. Demon Lord of the Underworld, Manerick.
George is trapped in an elevator with Mary. Mary's freaking out. The elevator gets stuck in between floors. So they're able to kind of open the door and they see all the demons running by. And before they realize they're demons, they're like, "Help us, we're stuck in here. What the fuck's wrong with you people? Help us." And then they really go, "Wait, this looks a little sus. and they stop screaming.
Well, Sally Demon looks through the crack and looks at him and they're like, oh shit, people are demons.
And then she fucking skedaddles.
Yeah.
And then the security guard comes up and is like, I'm going to help you out. And then he starts trying to open the door and then gets scratched in the neck.
Yeah, poor
Well,
dude.
the demons come right back. Like, it's like 20 seconds later, he's like, I'll get you out. And the demon's like, oh, wait, hey, there's a dude over there. Let's turn back around real quick. And they slash him. He dies right in front of their face.
Yeah.
And then he demons up.
Yep.
And then starts to try to break in. And he grabs Mary by the hair, starts
Poor
pulling her, and
And I
she's
guess
screaming
he
her head
scratches her at some point because...
Had to have.
Yeah.
Probably got her in the scalp.
She gets injured. Before she becomes a demon, George is like, all right, here's what we'll do. Let's just climb out of the elevator through the emergency exit at the top.
I'm going to John McClane this shit up this wire.
Bam. I'm an excellent rope climber.
Pop quiz hot shot.
Oh, shit. Different movie, but good.
Speed.
Yeah.
Starring Keanu Reeves.
That is the movie. And Speed 2, the boat that doesn't stop.
And Sandy Bullock.
The superior.
That's not what it's called. Speed 2, the boat that doesn't stop. I wish it was.
Speed 1, the bus that could.
Yeah. So he starts climbing, and Mary's like, don't leave me here. I fucking hate elevators. Don't leave me.
And she's hysterical
Yeah.
to the point of like, knock her out.
Yeah.
She's a detriment to your safety.
She's just screeching.
What's that movie where it's like, we're trapped in here. We're going to run out of air. It's like, yo, Mary, calm down.
Do you think they set up a pee corner? Speaking of movies, first thing you need to do,
Establish a pee corner.
Choose a pee corner.
choose a pee corner.
Yeah, she's freaking out. So now, does she turn into a zombie before he climbs out or after he climbs
He's
out?
like
he gets out on
halfway.
so I guess every elevator has a hatch,
That's what they claim.
right?
I
At least in movies, right?
Yeah, I don't-
Emergency hatch, yeah.
I've
think
never
that's
actually
true.
looked at the ceiling. I'm going to look at the elevator next week, see if there's a hatch.
They have
I
one.
can sleep
They have
in.
it.
So he's up on the roof of the elevator, and he's going to help Mary out of the elevator, and then she goes, and she demon jumps out of there, and he's like, climbing his way up the cables.
So impressive. Look, I am not a strong man, but I don't think I could climb that rope as fast or as far as he did.
No, I would have died.
Yeah, dead.
But she makes up distance on him, though.
Yeah.
He's like
Well, look,
20
she's
feet
got
ahead, and
demon
she's
power.
like,
Now,
zip,
hold
zip,
on.
zip, zip, zip.
John failed to mention just how amazing demons are at rappelling and mountain climbing.
Yeah, so
Because
good.
not only is Mary Demon awesome, but later we're going to see the Sally as a fucking pro.
Yes. Well,
She repels in that building like real quick.
part of their super strength, I assumed,
Yeah.
So I mean, Mary Demon just like one hand is like, I'm coming for you. No problem pulling herself up. George, though, not an idiot, just kicks her in the head.
And then she falls like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Well, because they were rag dolls. Did you guys notice that
I
every
loved
person
it.
that fell were like just either like two of them were like dummies
Yep.
that had like loose bodies, which
Yep.
I love. Anytime something falls and it has like the loose ragdoll physics. The number two, like there was one though that fell over the stairs and it was just a mannequin, like a perfectly stiff mannequin that they put clothes on because when it lands, like the arm breaks off. And I was like, holy shit, that was a mannequin. They didn't even reuse the same rag dolls. I was like, wow, this movie is just phoning it the fuck in.
Yeah.
And that's when I have a note that says Dario Argento can suck my nuts.
Wow.
Because again, I do not know how this movie got made.
Well, as Mary was falling, she goes, "This is why I hate elevators."
Did she really
In
say
case
that?
you didn't know.
No, that'd be awesome, though.
Oh, God.
That's why I
Again,
should
you
be-
can tell me anything and I'd be like, when did that happen?
So then George manages to get out from the top, and then he runs back to his wife, Hannah, who's getting mauled by Manerick the demon.
Yeah.
But somehow hasn't bitten her yet or transferred the demon virus, if you will, over to Hannah.
Well, Hannah's very good at dodging. She was a pro dodgeball.
There's
Kick,
that
punch, it's all in the mind.
You can dodge a
very good.
wrench. You can dodge a demon.
there's that whole 4-minute scene where she's got Manerick on her back and she's
Yes.
going, I was like, how did he not manage to bite or scratch her at all?
Well, that's the thing is he had to actively make a choice to choose to do nothing while holding on to prevent from nicking her. She was more in danger of nicking herself on the demon than the demon was of hurting her. That's how much she was panicking with this thing.
Yeah. Oh, I really, really need to point out, I meant to bring this up earlier, when the Manerick was trapped in the fold-in bed. She, for some reason, this woman has a jar of something that is just a skull and crossbone. The biggest label on this
sulfuric
bottle
acid.
Yeah, that
is
was the
a
best.
skull and crossbone. Not a name.
Yeah. You don't need
Just
to
a
know.
skull and
She
crossbones.
pulls it off of her nail cart, and I was like, first off, whatever that is should not be anywhere near your body.
It is smoking like crazy.
They should have just written poison on it. Like,
It was. It had a giant skull and crossbones. It was a black bottle
Yeah, it was
with a
great.
giant skull and
What is the
crossbones.
point is that?
And it
What-
basically was like sulfuric acid.
it's for physics stuff.
No.
Physics.
Oh, you're right.
Well, she was a physicist, I guess.
Science shit, okay, Mark?
Wouldn't that be a chemist, though?
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
You know what I mean?
Anyway.
Maybe that's what they were. I don't know science. Here's why Mankirk, what's his name?
Mannerick.
Mankirk, baby, yeah.
That's why Mannerick didn't scratch her. While he was hanging on, he was like, oh, this is what a rodeo is. He thought he was riding a bull. He got confused.
Are you saying this is typical Italian cinema where they take a plot line from the U.S. and then remake it really cheesy and cheap to basically cash in really fast? Do you think this was a Luke Perry 8 seconds type thing?
I think that's exactly what happened.
Okay, just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure we're on the same page here.
So he was just hanging on. He's like, I guess I get thrown off. That's how this ends.
Okay, got it.
So
He's been watching them spaghetti westerns before he
bingo.
showed up.
Yeah. He's like, it's nice to be in a country with the West.
So George runs in and stabs the demon Mannerick
Man-trap.
with an umbrella. Now, I have owned umbrellas in my life, and they have all bent or broken in the wind. He jams this through a demon into the drywall, like halfway in. I was like, what is that umbrella made of?
Have you ever had a 80s Italian umbrella?
Do you think it's made out of ivory?
They were all made out of steel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, katana steel. So it was folded steel. It's incredible.
Damascus steel umbrellas.
He jams that thing through a wall out the other end where you see Mannerick's little demon head coming out and it's just bleeding from the fucking every orifice of that puppet.
I laughed so hard when that happened. I was like, this scene right here makes the last 20 minutes worth it. Not the rest of it, but the last 20 minutes were palatable because of that.
And that's the end of old poor Mannerick.
Poor
And
dude.
this is why I was like, wow, what a prostitute with a heart of gold. He came back to save Hannah. And I was like, what a gentleman, like what a chap. At this point, he grabs Hannah and they're going to escape. And I think at this point we cut back down to the
gym bros.
The barricade inside the garage.
And their barricade's on fire now.
which how did that happen?
And also other people from the apartments are starting to filter, and it's not just the people from the gym.
Yeah, 'cause they
As
almost
they're
shoot
running
those
in, they're
people.
like, all right, everybody. Hank jumps on a car and puts his leg up on the roof, and he's just like,
This is
listen
our
up.
Independence Day.
Yeah. Grab anything you can. We're making it a weapon. This is our final stand. If you can fight, you can fight. But then there's like 30 people cowering in a car with a sunroof open. And it's
Yeah.
like, you didn't think too hard about that, did you?
I'll tell you about Hank's stance there. He was wearing some short shorts. Everyone in front of him just got an eye full of Hank, all right? That's all I'm going to say.
It's a motivational ball sack. Anyway, what's up with the dude who launched his car over the other two
Oh, yeah,
cars
yeah.
that flipped his car?
Okay, so let's get there because that's my favorite part of this whole scene.
All right, take us there, Mark. What happens to the gym bros?
So Sally and her band of demons, by this point, where there's what, 100?
Yeah, they're roving.
Probably.
A baker's dozen, maybe.
No.
That's 13. There's more than 13.
Like 10 baker's dozens.
They managed to find their way into the garage, and everybody starts fighting. Most people are doing a very poor job at it.
As most people would, I would say.
Yeah. And there's a scene where the little girl and her dad have this sad moment of, Mommy's gone. Oh,
Yeah, who was her mommy?
doesn't matter.
Okay.
One of the dead women.
He puts his daughter in a car and he's fighting valiantly in front of the car, and he gets overtaken and then just kind of hugged to death, and then he falls over and she's just standing there with a tear in her eye. Oh, Poppy.
Second person
Poppy.
hugged to death in this movie.
One by machine, one by demon.
Mannerick was going for a third, but he just didn't
Yeah,
get a
he
chance to
didn't-
get there.
Yeah, little known fact, probably on the DVD, this movie also used to be called Death Hug.
You're right. When you're right, you're right. And you're always right. So, yes. And then one of the gentlemen managed to start one of the cars and he's just ramming everything in sight. And demons are jumping on the car and they're flailing everywhere and he's running into the wall. And then there's just a shot of him somehow leaping 13 cars and crashing into another pile of cars. And it's like, huh?
You can see the ramp too.
Yeah, it's
like
just
when
like-
he tries to jump these cars, you can see the ramp, and it's like, why?
Well,
Why does
because
this make sense to you?
the floor of this garage is a trampoline. it's important to
Jesus
know.
Christ, John, this whole episode.
He's got an answer for everything.
If you've seen how
You're not going to get paid for this. Just
when
let
Mark
it go.
says the demons were jumping, they were jumping. I mean, these demons were launching themselves 6, 7, 8.
8 lords a leaping.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Like 8 feet in the air. There was a lot of bounce. They were like on pogo sticks. It was impressive stuff. And then all the gym people die. The end of those people.
I think at the same time when George and Hannah are trying to make their way down, George goes and opens up a gas pipe or gas main on the stairs.
Right, so they're exiting their apartment and they're in the stairwell, and all the chaos of the garage is wrapping up, more or less.
Yeah.
We don't really get to see what happens to the girl in the car. I wanted to know if she made it or not.
Well,
but there's a really great scene of all the demons like slapping the window, and I thought everybody did a good job of looking gross and
Agreed.
angry.
It looked,
good job, demons.
Rad on this.
She did not make it based on what's about to happen. Don't they just blow up like the whole bottom part of the floor of the building?
I guess that explosion pyrotechnic was pretty poor.
Well, it was really weak, but I think it was
The
meant
one in the
to.
stairwell?
Yeah.
It was like a little poof.
Really, it managed to kill. Well, let's do it. So George and Hannah are escaping, and they're going to run up to the roof at this point. And George goes, "Hold on, I have to do something real quick." And he goes to
Did they
one of the
explain
gas
why they were running to the
lines.
roof, though?
Yes, because they know how to rappel from their survival course they took last summer.
Did they say that in the movie?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
One sentence before they go down the wall.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So he's like, "All right, I got to do something real quick." And so he goes to one of the pipes of the building and he busts it open and starts letting gas leak into the apartment building. But
The stairwell, yeah.
I think only about 15 seconds pass before the demons are upon him, and he lights his Zippo and tosses it and managed to kill every demon in the apartment except for Sally.
Yes, because Sally's the queen demon.
But this explosion was like when a magician does that little like poof thing out of his
It
hand.
turns into a dove.
A dove just flies up the stairwell.
Sally turns into a demon dove.
It does not equate to 100 demons dead.
No.
That explosion might have stunned one in
Also,
reality.
Garrett, Demon Dove was my metal band name.
Very
Oh
nice.
god,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So it's a. I thought they were going to blow up the whole building. I was like, first off, you're in a high rise. Do not start a fire on a lower floor.
And this-
Fire moves up.
The last third of this movie is really going at a pretty rapid rate.
Yeah.
So you have to stop and think about what you just saw. That's how I was like, oh, all the demons are dead. Because there's like a quarter-second shot of like 8 people laying on the ground, and Sally gets up and runs up the stairs.
Yeah.
So she's on the chase.
Oh, also,
Listeners, I wish you could have seen Mark's
Yeah.
little like run motion. He was like,
it's astonishing.
Well, no, did you remember seeing like Sally
Yeah.
run all kind of
Yeah.
weird and awkward?
Other demon power, extraordinary cardio.
She's really good at it.
She runs up those stairs like a mofo, man. Lots of time on the Stairmaster.
So then George goes, "It's just like that class we took last year. Time to rappel down the side of the building."
how do you know ropes were up there though?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, listeners, do not do this plan. Skyscrapers don't generally keep rappelling gear on their roof. That's just not a thing that happens.
Yeah, they just have it, don't they?
It's just there. Why?
All set up too, already
Yeah.
like pinned down,
Ready to
everything.
go.
Hannah hangs on the back of George, and they rappel down the building, and we get to see this in excruciating like length.
Yeah, the whole time. It's in real time that this film happens.
And then Sally like leans over the edge and is like, "Rawr," and then she just like bip bip bip, and she's down.
Yeah, she jumps down like Mario, man.
She's like a Marine, man.
No, she wraps herself in that rope and goes face first at such a speed that I've never seen. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, you know, like how Wile E. Coyote falls off mountains? That was her coming down.
It's like a bungee cord with no fear of hitting the ground.
She even held up a sign that said, "Uh-oh."
But she's down there and she's still giving chase.
When she hits the ground, George stabs her through the like
Oh, you're
chest
right.
with a metal pipe.
Yeah.
So at this point, Sally's dead. This is our big like, oh no, the final monster's dead, but it's going to come back later. But yeah, they ram a pipe through Sally, who dies against the glass window wall.
There's some joke there that listeners can fill in about how George was laying pipe. I'll leave that to that's a listener exercise.
I think you just did it. I think you did it right there.
Thank you.
And then they wander off inside, I guess, the building next to it, and they're in a TV studio at this point.
Yes.
Like everything is on, everything is running. There's not a single person in this.
Now, Mark.
So my thought at first was like, is this like Hell Studio? Is this supposed to be somewhere everything is taking place and this was all some fucking
Well, no,
Yeah.
George
demon
turns
reality show?
he turns the power on. They're in the dark, and he's like, "Hold on,
Was
I'll
it
turn the
dark
power
when they
on."
went in?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he turns the power on, and then it just lights up the studio as if they're ready to record, and
Yeah.
all the cameras start.
That's my question for you, Mark, as someone who's worked in the biz. Are TV studios illuminated in just dim red lights?
And crazy flashy strobe effects and stuff.
No.
No, okay. I was like, I don't know enough to know if this is wrong, but feels wrong.
It felt wrong.
Yeah.
You're right.
So this is the point where Hannah then goes, ha, and then leans over. I'm like, oh no, Hannah got bit. And then she's like, ah, and then he goes, the baby? And I was like, what the fuck? I did not know she was pregnant until the end of this movie. And then she starts going into labor.
Yeah.
Right there in the television studio, and the cameras are filming it. And I'm like, what is going on? And correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't George say they're filming this, people will find us or something like that?
He does mention like those cameras are on us because that's how it works.
Is that to assume that people are watching this in real time and they're going to be like, oh, we got to go help George and Hannah?
Well, they're probably like, yeah, we should. But then Hannah has the fastest, cleanest, most impressive delivery of all time. She pushes out that baby in like 90 seconds.
Oh, that baby is crystal clean. He's Mr. Clean.
Yeah, I don't even think he has an umbilical cord. He just comes out ready to go.
Full head of hair.
Yeah.
Like he's older than he should be.
It's 3.
He's George Burns.
He's potty trained and can talk. It was weird.
So I feel like there was an opportunity here for them to really tie this back into the teledependency.
Oh.
Or maybe they were trying to and just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Do you remember the end of Neverending Story?
Bastion, say my name.
One of that moments, but remember, like the characters actually look at the audience and start going, "Help us believe."
Yeah.
I was hoping for one of those moments here.
Oh my, that'd have been amazing.
Like a Peter Pan live performance where they like make the audience clap to
Yeah.
say
Right.
Tinkerbell.
That would have tied into the teledependency. Viewer, help my wife beat the demon baby.
Clap to save Hannah, and then nobody claps. Not even George.
I would clap only if my TV was on the clapper and I could turn it off.
Yeah.
Clap to end this movie faster.
I really expected the baby to be a demon as well.
Me too.
Okay, guess what I just found out?
What?
The baby was supposed to originally be a demon, but they changed it last minute because they did not want the movie to end on that negative of a note. But it was supposed to be a demon. Like when the kid attacked her, she was supposed to become a demon along with the baby.
Well, that would have tied it closer to part 1.
That
Yeah.
does not happen. Evidently, George picks up this perfectly clean baby and then just walks away from Hannah. Where was he going?
He goes behind the curtain, and then Sally Demon wanders in and goes, "Ugh," and they're like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, but now Sally's blind. Why? Because.
Yeah, why was Sally blind? He goes, she's blind. She can't see us. And I was
thought
like,
maybe the explosion.
But she wasn't blind then. It was the pipe laying.
The pipe did it.
Yeah.
and to be fair, when she's wandering around blind, she looks like Ed Grimley dancing. Like she's just like stumbling all over the place. I could not believe they're like, oh, this is our final scene. This is what you guys chose to go with.
No.
It was baffling.
Well, the final scene is even stupider though, because it's George and Hannah and the baby just walking out in the city, freeze frame, movie over.
We got to kill Sally first.
Oh,
Sally,
right.
Sally
Sally
just
does
falls
need to
over
die.
though. No one does anything. She just falls over dead.
But then she's in the TV running at them.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
the cameras are focused. Okay, so the cameras are focused on her dead body behind the curtain. Why is there a camera looking backstage?
You don't
But
want to
yes.
know. It's seedy shit.
So yes,
When movies are too real, they become real and kill
in this
you.
panel of TVs, some of them are showing Sally running at you like the demon at the very beginning. They got to the TV to get Sally. So now Sally's trying to affect George. George runs up to the TVs and starts smashing certain ones of them with a crowbar or something.
I would have liked to
Glad it
just
wasn't
turned
the baby. So
I would have liked to be just turned them off. She's like,
Oh,
you
that
can't
would've
do
been
this to me.
Don't trap me in here. No.
I'm a demon. Power off. Pew. Let me just degauss you real quick.
And then have like one catch line, like, you don't want to sit too close to the TV. It'll rot your brain.
So he smashes all these TVs, and then George and Hannah exchange the most awkward, passionate kiss.
Dude, they had no chemistry. I don't think they met each other before the first day of filming.
This is why I thought he was a prostitute, because I was like, well, clearly she paid him to do this.
Yeah, they both looked like they were grimacing during their kiss.
Look, no one's saying that your idea of making him a prostitute is not good.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
Yeah, but you know what?
I would have preferred him to
Get
be
me a
prostitute.
gigolo stat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the thing is, in your version, he could be a prostitute. That's the beauty of headcanon.
So they have this weird kiss, and then they look forward, and then it freeze frames, and we fade out. But it's a long freeze frame.
Yeah. And then the song from the Breakfast Club plays.
That's
and
not. No, I did put this last song as a banger, though.
I actually do like the theme song.
Yeah, it was fine. The music was fine.
Did you guys watch the credits though?
No, I turned it off as fast as I could.
As someone who watched the credits to see who was to blame for this monstrosity, so I could burn these names into my head, the songs weren't listed at the end. I couldn't find out the title of these songs.
Aw.
Because I was like, you know what? There was a Smith songs at the beginning, like a Morrissey Smith song, Panic, I think it was.
Panic on the streets of London.
Yeah, but this end song, I was like, there was no title, there was no nothing. I was like, oh man, what the hell is this song called? That's the end of Demons 2.
And you know what, listeners? I like this movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, for real. It's like a bonkers, really ridiculous, super stupid movie. You obviously aren't watching it for the plot, but the gore effects were great. The zombie demons were cool. And tight 90, like that about it. I enjoyed it. Would I watch it again? No. But am I upset that I watched it? Also, no.
I recommend it.
I enjoyed it enough never to watch it again. Nice, John.
Well, there's a lot of movies I like I wouldn't watch again.
This is what I said earlier. I would consider to be the perfect drive-in movie or something you throw on while you're doing something else.
I agree.
Because you don't need to know what's going on with these characters. They don't matter. Really, if you wanted to.
The scriptwriter thought the same thing.
Yeah, in fact, it'd be better if you don't try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. And then try to explain it to your buddies later. That's hard.
Yeah.
But yes, I think if you could just sit down and you just want to turn off your brain and watch something with a lot of cool demons on it and some pretty good gore effects and a great puppet, this is your movie.
If you were like high, you would really enjoy this movie. This is a good stoned movie. Because you're not really thinking too much about it. You're just sitting back. Yeah. I'm going to give it stoned movie mark of approval.
4 weed leaves out of 5.
There you go. 3 out of 5 stoners agree.
I don't recommend this movie at all. There are better shitty movies to watch that are way more fun. They include the word demons in it.
Name 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
done. Death Spa.
6.
Okay, 666. Oh boy.
Yeah, you're a fan of demon movies? Name them all.
We're going to be here for a while. But man, there's so many better cheesy like horror movies that are more entertaining than this. This movie would be great to watch with friends and rip to shreds as you watch it. I don't know. I did not have a good time with it. I enjoy talking about it with you guys now, but I hated every moment that I had to sit through it. It's a no from me.
Well, there you have it, listeners. 2 yeses, 1. It's not so bad. No, 2 yeses and a strong
John,
no.
you're about to get mandraked or whatever that little demon's name was.
Oh man! Oh boy!
Manerick.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm gonna gently hang off your shoulder and basically be like, "Where are we going?" Like a Yoda situation in Dagobah.
Okay, if Mandrake, He-Man just became like Hannah's friend, that would, George busts in there and they're just talking over like some tea.
What if Mandrake had a change of heart and is like, "I'll get you out of here. I'll direct you. I can get you past these demons."
Yeah, you put like a little leash on him.
Demons 3, man's best demon.
Love it. Like an air demon. No, there's no rule that says demons can't play.
Maybe she loses the baby and then has like postpartum depression and then basically like imprints on the baby demon and makes that the baby.
It could be like twins, where George and the Danny DeVito characters play Manerick.
Love it.
I'm your brother.
Hollywood, get at us.
Well, that's what we thought about Demoni 2.
Demonio?
Demons 2.
Demons 2.
Listeners, what did you think of Demons 2? Am I right? Scared wrong? Both are correct.
Yes.
Why don't you let us know on our social media? We have a Twitter, a Facebook, and an Instagram. You can find all things GraveTalk at thegravetalk.com. Do you have any recommendations for cold opens? Do you have any movies you want us to do? The 3 of you that keep wanting us to do Bone Tomahawk, we hear you. It's coming someday.
Oh, God.
We promise this year you're going to get your tomahawks made of bone.
Now we're talking calendar year, fiscal year.
Q3.
Which year?
Actually, you know what? No, you're not getting Bone Tomahawks. Send $5.95 each time you suggest it, and maybe, just maybe, it will make the Grave Talk podcast list.
No,
Yeah,
we're
we
going
have
to do
nothing
bones.
better
Let's make this
Okay.
shit work for us, guys.
What's there to not like about it? Bones, cool. Tomahawks, cool.
Kurt Russell, cool.
Westerns,
Fun.
yeah.
Spaghetti.
Love it.
A studio that's out of business because of sexual assault allegations.
Well, that's why we didn't do it before. Yeah, that's why we didn't do it the first time.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
we'll definitely talk about Bone Tomahawk this year for sure. So we hear you. We got you on the schedule. Next up, I believe we're doing, because it's finally available, Near Dark. I believe it's on Shudder.
starring the late Bill Paxton and our favorite
Lance Henriksen. And the younger brother from Teen Witch.
Don't remember his
I
name.
can't remember his name.
clearly the key to holding this all together.
But we see you.
Yeah, we see ya.
And if for some reason it's not on Shudder, as they said it would be, we'll pull an audible and we'll do some other garbage movie. So, but yeah, Near Dark should be the next one. A pretty crazy vampire flick. And yeah, we'll see you then.
Sounds good. See you next time.